Good, happy Thursday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to your news, weather, and traffic update right here on the Riley King Radio Network. Let's get started. First up, community bonds remain strong 5 years after police chief's death. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
Strict attention to detail. That's what sets Kubota construction equipment apart. It's how we maximize performance, increase strength, and give you the dependability you demand. We engineer our equipment precisely at every level. It's what makes us a leader. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 60 months. See your local Kubota construction equipment dealer today.
Where best meets second to none, MB.
It was April 12th, 2012. The address, 517 Post Road in Greenland. The Attorney General's Drug Task Force asked for backup to serve a warrant to suspected drug dealer Cullen Moutrie. And with just 8 days until his retirement, Police Chief Michael Maloney answered the call. It would be his last. In a hail of bullets, 4 officers were shot, Mike dragging one to safety. Moments later, shot and killed as he took cover behind his cruiser. Moutrie later turned the gun on his girlfriend, then himself.
It really just, basically, it tore your life apart.
Like so many, Lieutenant Don Sawyer, Maloney's friend and co-worker for 19 of his 26 years in law enforcement, was in shock. That while the town and first responder communities surrounded and supported his family at home and at work. Chief Tara Laurent, who succeeded him, was sworn in that night.
At the time, it was just minute to minute and then hour to hour and then literally day to day for probably at least the first year.
5 years later, still difficult to talk about for many, including his wife, Peg. She says it's not always easy, especially at holidays and birthdays. It can be quite challenging. They say the first year is the hardest. I say every year is difficult. Community support, though, is still a constant. The Michael Maloney Memorial Fund and the annual run in his name the last Sunday of every April.
We've done 40 scholarships. We've supported fallen law enforcement officers all over New England and firefighters. We do community grants.
His brother thankful as well.
5 years later, to have people still talk about the chief with reverence and respect, it's not only you're part of something that does good things for the community, but from a personal standpoint, to have so many people rally around his legacy and memory, ensuring that it's a positive one, it's probably saved me.
His legacy doing so much positive. Town offices where the chief visited every day, now paying it forward.
When I would hear of a similar tragedy, I would reach out to that town with either a call or a card or an email.
Every member of the Greenland Police Department staff still there.
I'm telling you, the bond is amazing. If anyone left, I don't know what I'd do because we've just become so close. As cops, we get along. We get together for lunch and we'll have a coffee and we bring up all the old stories. And he was just such a part of so many of the old stories. And they were funny, crazy stories. We don't want to not move on, but we never want to forget.
In Greenland, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. UPS delivery driver puts out fire with garden hose. Let's take a listen to this video from WCVB Boston.
You too can help them bring the first harvest of Vaisakhi home.
Oh my God!
I came around the corner and I noticed that there was a table on fire.
UPS driver Paul Pereira on his last delivery of the day, spotting flames engulfing a front porch.
I just ran over, banged on the door. I told the people in the house, your house is on fire, and they weren't aware that the house was on fire.
Inside, Brian Lavender's wife and daughter thought somebody was barbecuing.
The next thing she knows, it was banging on the door, fire, fire, fire. Get out.
Anybody get a hose?
Neighbors called the fire department. Selena Sanchez started rolling.
The UPS guy, he was like, "We need a hose. Does anyone have a hose?"
You can see Pereira in the thick of it. Those flames they're roaring.
I didn't realize how big the flames were until I saw the video myself.
By the time the fire department showed up, he knocked down the fire. And had he not been there, that entire porch would have been engulfed. That entire house would have been lost. There's no question.
Making his rounds today, the hero of Hamilton Ave, getting a big hug from Tracy Lavender, one of the women he saved. If it wasn't for him.
Oh, well, they would have been. I think the house would have been totaled pretty much.
Their UPS man really delivered.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
They're saying you're a hero.
I don't feel I'm a hero. I think anybody would do it. They see a fire and, act on it.
On the job 22 years and a hero to these folks, the Lavenders who are in the process of buying this house can't be grateful enough. The cause of the fire has not been determined. Live in Haverhill, Jorge Quiroga, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Maine's highest court to hear ranked choice voting arguments. Maine's highest court is set to hear arguments on the constitutionality of an election overall approved by voters last fall. Ranked choice voting allows Maine residents to rank ballot choices from first to last and ensure that the winner gets a majority. But there are questions of constitutionality and the Maine Senate asked the Supreme Judicial Court to weigh in. Oral arguments were set for Thursday. Nationwide, dozens of cities have adopted ranked choice voting. In Maine, voters became the first to endorse the system for statewide elections. Supporters say the system ensures that a candidate wins majority support while eliminating the impact of spoiler candidates or party extremists who lack sentence appeal. The system will be used for races for governor, U.S. Senate, U.S. House, Maine Senate, and Maine House. Oil markets now very close to reaching a balance, IEA says. The oil market is slowly but surely reaching a balance as a result of the success of the OPEC production deal. The head of Oil Industry and Markets Division at the International Energy Agency, IEA, told CNBC on Thursday. Apple has a secret team working on Holy Grail for treating diabetes. Apple had hired a small team of biomedical engineers to work at a Nod-Script office in Palo Alto, miles from corporate headquarters. They are part of a super secret initiative initially invented by the late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs to develop sensors that can non-invasively and continuously monitor blood sugar levels to better treat diabetes, according to 3 people familiar with the matter. Trump threatens to stop crucial Obamacare payments to insurances. Since the failure of the GOP health care bill in the House nearly 3 weeks ago, President Donald Trump has suggested letting Obamacare explode to bring Democrats to the negotiation table. Now he's threatening to push the detonator. Now let's take a look at your weather for today and tonight. Your weather for today, times of sun and clouds, breezy, highs in the upper 50s. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and cooler, lows in the mid-30s. Now let's take a look at the traffic. And a live look at your traffic map right now. We're seeing a lot of green roadways, and we have a tiny yellow roadway near the Hooksett and Manchester area, and another one near the Bedford and Merrimack area. Otherwise, your traffic is moving pretty good on your Thursday morning. No major incidents to report this morning. And that does it for your news, weather, and traffic update right here on the Riley King Radio Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday. Goodbye, everyone.